you have about 90 appellations.
In Burgundy, that's
Yes.
correct.
So how many different wines?
That's
do you do?
90 different wines. So,
90 different wines.
so first of all, our estate, our domain,
Yes.
is about 75 hectares.
Yes.
And that means about 60 different appellations. But you have to understand that the size is sometimes very small. There are areas where we own a third of a hectare, so the production might be 1,200 bottles. Musigny, which is one of my greatest Grand Cru, my production is 1,800, 2,000 bottles on good vintages. So that's the size of Burgundy. It's a collection of little stamps. But there are other appellations like Clos des Mouches, where we own 14 hectares, half white, half red. So that means consumers can more easily find those wines. And for the other wines, we purchase simply grapes or must that we vinify in our winery. So altogether, we offer to the consumer 90 different appellations from, let's say, 10 euros to a few hundred euros a bottle. So my great-grandfather, Joseph Drouhin, he founded the company in 1880, and he had no vineyards when he started. He was buying wine and aging the wine in his cellar, bottling himself and selling under his name. His son, Maurice Drouhin, took over, and in those years, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, chemicals did not exist. You were doing organic because you had no choice. It's the engineers came in the late 50s, early 60s, and they offered to everyone what we believed in those years was the best option, using chemicals to fight against some disease, to bring some fertilizer. It's my father later on in the mid-80s who said, well, today the vineyards are better looking, but the wines are not as good as they were in the past. So maybe we have changed something. And my brother Philip, who is running the whole estate in Burgundy and Oregon, said, I believe we are heading to the wall by using chemicals because we don't know the long-term effects of those chemicals in the soil, in the water, in the atmosphere. For our workers in the vineyard, we should find another option. And the option was to go back to what Maurice was doing, going to organic, meaning no pesticide, no fertilizer. And it worked very well. And we said 10 years later, that was in the mid-90s, maybe we can go to biodynamie. So the biodynamie is doing organic culture, but also taking into consideration some lunar calendar, which will tell us which are the days where we can go in the vineyard to plow the soil or to stimulate the growth of the leaves. And we use some plants, infusion of plants, we use some powder of rocks at given time of the year to stimulate that growth either of the roots or of the leaves. But in terms of viticulture, our philosophy in Oregon is our philosophy in Burgundy. Try to be gentle with the vineyards because we want berries with character and with taste. If we have grapes with just sugar and acidity, the wine will be just simple. If we have a fruit with taste, then we have wine with complexity. We buy the trees. Every year we go in a forest to select the trees with a cooper. The trees then cut into smaller pieces that we call mérins, or staves. And then we bring the staves in our winery outside during 3 years. Because we believe it's the time necessary for the wood to dry and to lose its green tannins. And after 3 years we send them back to the coopers who will shape these casks, shape the cask. The other option would be to buy directly the finished cask, but the coopers nowadays, they age the staves 2 years, 2 years and a half because of the financial or because of the space. We believe 3 years is better, but we use the cask, our own cask, for all the Grand Cru. We cannot have the space to have 100% of our own cask. So we have a kind of partnership with the cooper to decide from which forest, about how the casks are burned and shaped. So that's why, so when it comes to the time of the harvest, we have a huge database of casks available, and we decide which cask for which appellation.
Because
We
everyone
prefer
says-
to use the indigenous yeast because it is one of the small factors to keep the character, the individuality of each wine. We know that the population of yeast in Meursault is different than the population of yeast in Puligny-Morachet, yet they are close to one another. So every year we try to rely on nature. But obviously, if we have a rainy vintage, we don't have enough yeast left on the skin of those berries, so we will have to use selected yeast. We will just try to prevent to use yeast that will give some banana taste to the wine. That's common sense.
So it's a Beaujolais taste. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.